You can see the broadcast, and you can just listen in like that and just just hear what I'm saying for the day. But what I'm gonna do is just call me when you get out of school, okay? Okay.
I'm out on YouTube right now.
You say what, buddy? Say that again.
I'm not YouTube right now.
You're not doing what? Mo, say it again, please. Okay, if you're eating, that's fine. Okay. Just hit me up when you get out of school and we'll go forward from there, okay, buddy?
Okay.
All right, I love you.
You too.
All right. That was the firstborn. But yeah, I was just talking about the people here. I had his Skype came in. We talked for a little bit, and then he's getting ready for school. But yeah, so that's how the people are here. Some of the people, not all of them. It's not like that. Everybody's like that. But part two, what I want to talk about here, what happened in Jerusalem yesterday. Just to let you all know everything's good here. The deep thing is I was going to go to Jerusalem with a brother. Not certain what time we would have returned. That happened about 6:30 yesterday on a thoroughfare. But yeah, everything is fine here with myself. Praise Yah. And so, no one's there. Let's see, it said buffering, the temporary interruption can occur. Hopefully it's not doing too bad buffering. But no one died in the attack. They did label it an attack. Everything is pretty much at peace. We wasn't even aware of it really until late last night, early this morning myself. Yeah, it happens. Things happen, We have attacks in the United States, similar, not similar in the sense of bombings, but people are attacked all the time, So violence is violence no matter where you find it. It's it's random everywhere, really, So the deep thing is, people are resilient. People are really intent on just continuing their day-to-day life, being more aware, of course, and that's, what we have to do in these days and times is of course, be much more aware of what's going on. You can see a little employee here from McDonald's interviewing some young men for a job, but yeah, it's pretty deep, man. But that took place yesterday. Everything was pretty cool otherwise. Last night, though, we ended up rehearsing for a play that we're doing for Pesach. I got thrown into the mix myself. They've been rehearsing for some time. Akot Yaleach is an artist, just period. Poet, dancer, singer, and now an aspiring playwright. And she's been doing plays pretty much since she's been up here for about 3 years, I believe. 3.5 years, maybe 4. And so, man, 5 years actually. Yeah, they left in 2011, so 5 years they've been up here. And so grinding, putting stuff down for the people, for the community. She actually graduated from, I believe, Tel Aviv University with a degree, MA in MA Fine Arts is what she graduated with. So the system's deep, what I'm saying? The community's deep. We're very talented up here. Nakia was on pretty much the Israel's version of the American Idol. She was a runner-up to the winner. She should have won, truthfully. But there's a lot of dynamicism. I believe that's how you say it. Dynamic people up here, dynamos, who are powerful in their respected. We got another here who's a lyricist, dynamic visual artist. So there's all kinds of people up here who are just dynamic. Little Mikey, M70's boy, is a dynamic visual artist as well. He's about to actually join the IDF after, not this year when he graduates, but he's going to go one more year to school and then go. His Imam said. He's taken care of. So it's deep, man. People here just getting settled, looking to really bring forth what we know we need to bring forth and show the world who we are, in a righteous fashion. Spirit and truth. But yeah, everything is peaceful for today. Nothing really is dire or dramatic, and that's where I am. Things really even to normal. Those things happen. You look at things like there was a K or a murder in the corner from my last year, and then just not too long ago on the Minnesota Avenue in Kansas City, Kansas, at a barbershop, but the next day the barbershop was up and running, and that's a traumatic experience. A young cat got taken out right outside, but it doesn't stop, life. We have to continue to move forward, persevere, continue to live our lives in light of all the take around us. A little more buffering, it's buffering. But today, I'm about to get ready to go over to one of the brothers' house. We got two people, like I said, who came up last night. I'm sure they're getting their rest. So hopefully they'll be ready to, engage sooner than later. I'm just around the corner from where the brother stays. So looking to just get with them and formally meet them. We fellowship online every week, and now we have an opportunity to meet one another in person. So that's always good to get to meet someone face to face. Excuse me, right quick. Gonna do a little more rehearsing myself today with this play. Fortunately, my role in the play is off stage, so to speak. So I don't have to really be super on point with my lines. I can actually read the script. And music technician as well, just queuing up the music and playing it when the music is supposed to be played. So, yeah, that's pretty much it with that, man. Otherwise, another beautiful day in Zamunda. We watched that movie this morning, Coming to America came on. So I had to watch parts of it. That movie is hilarious. But it's gorgeous outside in Israel. I think it's in the 70s. It feels warmer than that because the sun is just right on you. Interesting fact, too, real quick, about the sun. Speaking of the sun of Israel. Israel happens to be the second highest in the world rate for skin cancer for the citizens of this land. Australia being number one. And when you think about it and you connect the dots, that gives you a huge signal that lets you know that the people who say that they belong here could not have been here originally because the conditions of the environment or the climate does not allow for them to really have a healthy existence. And throughout Scripture, that is not an issue that was dealt with the children of Israel. So just food for thought, man. Just food for thought as you really look to make sense of this world. I will say that one of the most important things to do to make sense of the world is to embrace your culture, through which you can look at the world through a lens going to properly inform you. I will say that one of our largest downfalls is that we're looking at the world as so-called black people or African Americans or Negro through the lens of Hellenism, of a Western perspective. That distorts our perspectives in so many ways, and we have to return to a more indigenous consciousness. Our mind has to really be restored. And as Dr. John Henry Clark once said, we have to take out everything that slavery put in, or enslavement put in, and put in everything that enslavement took out. And one of the most crucial things that we have to put back into us is the culture of Torah and the mind of Torah, which is the mind of Elohim or the mind of Yah. And once we get back into that understanding and into that spirit, that consciousness, I guarantee you the world will be a much different place, because this is a huge statement, as I'm being buffered and temporarily interrupted again. The reason that the world is in so much chaos and topsy-turvy and helter-skelter is because of us. We're out of order. But once we establish this kingdom, there's not going to even be a choice. The world will be completely righted and put into order, into a proper order. And this is an individual and a collective effort. We have to individually become a selfless people, as I mentioned yesterday. We have to learn to become selfless. We have to learn to embrace more of the culture of Torah, become a united body in spirit and truth. And then we have to work with our respective lanes to accomplish what we have before us. And there is a huge goal that we have before us in order to accomplish what we need to accomplish. So, just some food for thought as we are, looking to do what we need to do to become who we need to become. And that's the thing, I think I mentioned it even before. It's not about believing anymore. We've been hung up on belief for so long. It's now about becoming. We have to transform that belief into something and make it an active principle in this world. We have to be agents of change. We have to be agents of the kingdom as emissaries and envoys and ambassadors in the spirit of righteousness and truth and justice. These are the things that the world is lacking. The world is just so corrupt. And so we have to find ways to offset and even eliminate that particular imbalance. When you look at creation, you look at all these earthquakes that are breaking out along the Ring of Fire. I mean, in this week, there has been an unusual amount of activity in the Ring of Fire because the earth is imbalanced. And when the earth is imbalanced, it has to do things in order to restore that balance. You look at the flooding in Houston, there's some imbalance that's going on in Houston. So what is taking place is a natural response, really a reaction. But the thing about humanity is that while reactionary movements can be decent, like the one in D.C. right now, which again, I met a young man on the way to D.C. through this voting rights protest. It's a reactionary movement. How organized was it? And I asked him, who? Do you know anyone up there? What's the ideology behind it? There's nothing. There's no organization to the organism that will allow for a more effective response. If we are reactionary, we're not going to accomplish anything. And what I was going to say is, human beings, we have to organize in order to be effective. If we're not organized and do not have a central ideology, do not have a cultural consciousness and a national identity, well then we become haphazard, we become spontaneous and reactionary. This is what we should be. This is not how we should move. This is not whatsoever how we should move. We should be much more concerted. We should be more focused. You look at my brother Mustafa Asghari says, shout out to my heart. We have to be like a laser. A laser is direct. It's fine. It's focused. It's on point. As opposed to just ions, which are just scattered and just random. We have to be on point. You see my line coming back. Whenever I line my hair up, it's not always straight. That's random, isn't it? And we have to get back to the more focused thing. So let me refocus. That's fun. Anyway, just some thoughts and reflections. I like to provide thoughts and reflections for the day as well. And just current events, man. It's deep. It's real deep. Other than that, man, everything's everything. I don't know what time the brothers are supposed to hit me back via text message to let me know what's going on. And then we'll go from there. So I'm about to sign off. I'll talk with you all soon. Speak to you later. Pray you have a blessed day. And we'll go forward from there. Shalom Aleichem.